about quarterbacks next. And let's talk about prorated bonuses and dead money, because I think that's the next interesting thing I do want to talk about. When I was looking up and down the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL, the thing that stands out to me is that Jimmy Garoppolo, the 49ers have the option of getting rid of him, right? They have this huge salary cap charge for him this year. It's $27 million. But guess what? They can get rid of him and only have $2 million of dead money. So if you look comparatively across the NFL compared to other teams with other quarterbacks, I'm telling you, it can get really, really bad, and it can be way worse than what the 49ers are in. In fact, I'm going to show you what Drew Brees had to do with the Saints this offseason. So check this out. This is Drew Brees. And you might be wondering yourself, Ben, Drew Brees is a retired player. Why are you showing me Drew Brees? Guess what? He's retired. He still counts as $11 million against the Saints salary cap. Not just this year, but next year's too. So if you look up and down the NFL, there are all these teams who will restructure players, who will extend them, who will do this and that, right? But all they're doing is pushing money forward so that they don't have to spend it that year. What they're doing instead is making it so that they are handicapping themselves so they can't spend in the future. They can't extend players. They can't spend in free agency. So when you talk about Jimmy Garoppolo comparatively to some other quarterbacks, it can be a lot worse than what the 49ers have. In fact, I think the 49ers are in one of the best positions in all of the NFL. But let's go and look at another player, Big Ben Roethlisberger. Oh my gosh. So my computer is going to be loading for a sec, but once they do bring up Big Ben, it's almost the same situation as what the Saints were in. And instead, what the Steelers did with Big Ben is they pushed his money to next season, $10 million of it, so that he would only be a $25 million cap hit this year, so that they could get underneath and actually sign all their players. This is the kind of hoops teams these are the kind of hoops teams are jumping through just so that they can make their salary cap work this season, versus a team like the 49ers who just doesn't have to do this. So for everyone who complains out there about Jimmy Garoppolo, about how much money we paid him, I will say I've certainly been critical of the 49ers and how they spend their money and their salary cap. The way they structured Jimmy Garoppolo's contract is brilliant, because guess what? By having all of his money front loaded so that it's at the beginning of his deal instead of at the end, once they get to the end of the deal, they can cut him without financial complications, to where they can move on easily. Now, they haven't taken that option, but what they do have is the option of it. And that's more important than anything else, versus teams like the Steelers who are just pushing money further and further down the line, while at the same time handicapping their salary cap so that they don't have any of that rollover money I was talking about with you guys. What's awesome for young teams in the NFL is you don't have to spend a lot of money, right? But the most important thing out of all of that is you don't have to push money down the line. That's super important, because with all these teams pushing money down the line, all they're doing is creating more problems for themselves in the future.